He thought it was just a small act, a simple sign in his front yard, a message about fairness, a statement for truth. But when the strangers arrived, everything changed. Fake HOA cops dressed as authority appeared at his door. Their eyes were sharp, their movements calculated, and the air thickened with silent threat. Heartbeats accelerated, muscles tensed, and an invisible line between safety and danger was crossed. In an instant. For a moment he wondered if it was just a bluff, a neighborhood squabble blown out of proportion. But then their eyes locked onto him, and recognition struck. They froze as if the world had paused, realizing who they were, facing a federal agent. In that heartbeat, the power dynamic flipped, and the ordinary street became a battleground of principle, fear, and authority. What happens when those who try to intimidate you realize they're powerless? Watch until the end to find out. Wait a second. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments and make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. His name was Amil, a man whose daily life appeared ordinary, almost mundane. To his neighbors, he was just another resident, quiet, polite, and dedicated to his work. But behind this calm exterior lay a federal agent trained to observe, to act, and to uphold the law. He had kept this identity hidden, not out of shame, but because his role required discretion. Amil's evenings were predictable work, commute, brief chats with neighbors, and long walks past familiar streets. Yet even in routine, he carried a deep sense of responsibility for the law, for his community, for justice itself. A recent neighborhood controversy had ignited his concern. Some residents had started posting signs that defied community rules, creating confusion and quiet tension. Believing in transparency and fairness, Amil created his own sign, simple yet firm. It declared a message of accountability, a reminder of integrity. He placed it carefully in his yard, not expecting resistance, not anticipating confrontation. Little did he know that a simple act would ignite a storm, drawing the attention of those claiming authority without legitimacy. The calm neighborhood path he walked daily would soon turn into a test of courage, principle, and identity. Night descended, and the quiet hum of streetlights cloaked the neighborhood in shadows. Amil returned home unaware that the storm had already arrived. The fake HOA cops were there, standing rigid, their attire mimicking authority, their presence sharp and threatening. They held papers, moved deliberately, and their eyes followed him, as if every step might spark defiance. Amil paused at his doorstep, assessing the situation. His first instinct was caution, a natural reaction to potential danger. But he quickly realized that retreating was unnecessary. The sign he had placed represented more than rules. It represented principle, the right to speak, and the courage to stand firm. The strangers demanded the immediate removal of the sign, their voices low but firm, layered with threat. His heart pounded, not fear of confrontation, but the pressure of knowing he was in control, yet appearing vulnerable. He measured his options, carefully aware that one wrong move could escalate the situation. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains, sensing the tension, but unsure what to do. Phones appeared in hands, silently recording, capturing a scene that might escalate beyond personal conflict. Amil's mind raced, calculating every possibility: compliance, confrontation, or exposure of his proper role. Then a shift occurred. Recognition. The strangers hesitated as realization dawned they were facing a federal agent. Their confident postures faltered, and the previously invisible line of power reversed. The intimidation they wielded evaporated instantly, replaced by uncertainty. Amil moved deliberately, each step measured. He gestured toward the sign, a silent statement. Integrity could not be bullied. Every heartbeat carried weight. Every glance from the onlookers amplified the stakes. The night was heavy with suspense, each second stretching into eternity. Would the intruders back down, or would they push the limits of illegitimate authority further? Time seemed to freeze as the strangers stood in stunned silence, realizing they had underestimated him. The very act meant to intimidate now exposed their vulnerability. Amil's presence radiated authority, not of bravado, but of unwavering principle. the quiet. Power of law and ethics overrode their attempted dominance. They faltered, shuffling slightly, unsure how to proceed. Their prior confidence was gone, replaced by a subtle fear that they had misjudged the situation. Every movement was cautious, every glance searching for an escape, as if the weight of reality had settled upon them. Emil took a step forward, his hand brushing near the sign, and his posture sent a clear signal. This yard, this message, this stance, none would be compromised neighbors. Began to emerge some curious others, silently supportive their presence, adding a quiet reinforcement to his authority. The confrontation reached its apex in silence, the kind of silence that speaks louder than words. No threats were necessary. No escalating. Shouts, the fake enforcers understood their limits in an instant. The battle was won not with force, but with courage, clarity, and unyielding adherence to principle. In that suspended moment, the lesson was unmistakable. Those who wield illegitimate power cannot intimidate a person grounded in truth and justice. The fake HOA cops eventually left their bluff, exposed their intimidation. Powerless. The sign remained standing tall in the yard, a symbol not just of neighborhood rules, but of courage and unwavering integrity. Emil returned inside, reflecting on the night's events and realizing that the ordeal had affected more than just his immediate environment. The confrontation had become a quiet lesson for everyone who witnessed it. Fear can only hold sway when principle falters. Standing firm against injustice, even in seemingly small ways, sends ripples far beyond a single street. Emil's act was personal, yet its message was universal. Integrity cannot be silenced. For him, the night left a lasting imprint he had faced. Intimidation head-on navigated a dangerous situation with composure and reinforced the power of lawful ethical action. It was a reminder that courage is not the absence of fear, but mastery over it, that one's voice matters when wielded responsibly. Every community harbors moments of quiet oppression, moments when silence feels easier than confrontation. But the story serves as a reminder: accountability. Courage and integrity can transform fear into empowerment. The question remains: in your world, your community, what would you stand for? Would you remove the sign of truth or let it shine? Where are you watching this from? Share your city and country, and let this story spark a conversation about courage and justice. Take care.